Yo, it's your boy DC3, and this is Dctree-Nation, the channel on YouTube that covers hoops and heroes. And today we're talking hoops. We're talking about San Antonio Spurs, y'all. And I had to make a video off a conversation I was having with a friend of mine, and we were talking about the young Spurs and how they're very vocal. And the question came up: do the young Spurs talk too much? Do they talk too much on social media? Do they? And I have to tell you, I'm not going to tell you what I think is a good or bad thing until later in the video, but I had to admit to my homeboy that they do talk a lot, man. They talk more than Jim Carrey did on Liar Liar.
I sped. I followed too closely. I ran a stop sign. I almost hit a Chevy. I sped some more. I failed to yield at a crosswalk. I changed lanes in the intersection. I changed lanes without signaling while running a red light and speeding.
They talk more than Gary Coleman did off the show Different Strokes.
What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis?
You know, I had to throw that old school reference in there. But man, the Spurs talk more than a Dragon Ball Z character after a power-up.
I feel incredible! Yes, 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 yes! I can win! I feel great! I can do this! Ugh.
Spurs young players talk more than Wade Wilson.
God, you ever shut up, pal? No, not when I'm awake.
Basically what I'm trying to say is they're on the little talkative side. You get what I'm saying? And that's not always a bad thing. But before I jump too deep into it, if you like my content, please sub to the channel. Okay, all jokes aside, you know, this is an issue that has been talked about a lot in Spurs Nation, because the Spurs culture is that you let your play on the court do the talking. This came from D-Rob, trickled down to Tim Duncan, Ron Ginobili, Tony Parker. They weren't big media people. They definitely weren't social media people either. They weren't necessarily in that era. So they let their play do the talking. Now you're dealing with my boy Murray. He usually has a lot to say. He basically, you know, you've seen the quote, basically saying he's gonna take his game to the next level. He's gonna be bigger and better next season. And he's making all these promises that usually rub some of the fan base the wrong way. And I was one of those fans. You know, a couple years back, Murray, he made some statements and some comments about getting better and about, you know, wanting to be with the Spurs forever, which are good comments, don't get me wrong. But I kind of cringed a little bit because I was like, that's not necessarily something you have to post, you know, once a month. Do you get what I'm saying? And I kind of felt that way. So I do see the side of, you know, I see that side of the argument from people. I understand that. But over time, I found out that Murray is being genuine. Over time, he's built the reputation of a hard worker. Now, you may not like Murray and what he brings to the table, but you can't deny that his game takes a leap year to year. It may not be an all-star leap, but he takes the leap year to year, especially this past season. You know, jumping from like 10 points per game to 17. For a player like him, that's a really good leap. You get what I'm saying? A lot of triple doubles this season. So when players are at least somewhat backing up these claims, you have to give them that. And then another thing too, the Spurs and Spurs Nation is in a unique position. The media has never really liked the Spurs, even when they were on top. But now that we're at the bottom, people around the league, fans of other teams, the media, they are straight up ignoring us, disrespecting us, have nothing to say positive about us. So because of that, and because of the nature of the team, comments from Murray like this is, you know, are warranted. Get what I'm saying? It's not necessarily, hey, you know, this guy talks too much, he needs to do more, he needs to do more. It's more like, this is how Murray chooses to lead our team, with positive rhetoric, positive things to say, because right now there's not a whole lot of positivity, not only outside the Spurs organization, not only outside the Spurs Nation fandom. It's a lot of people mad in the fandom, bashing our players, guys, bashing it. And I can't really necessarily get mad for them bashing these players, because if you look at Spurs Nation, they're not used to losing. I've been a fan since D-Rob. Since I was 8 years old, been a fan of the Spurs. And I can't remember a time where we lost like this. So if you are a fan that, you know, hopped on the bandwagon or start following the team in 03, you definitely don't know how it is for the Spurs to lose. You definitely have never experienced that. So I kind of understand their hesitance and, their, venom they're spitting at the players to an extent. Okay. But if you're a fan of the NBA, you know that Rome wasn't built overnight. We just so happen to have two of the greatest players, fall into our laps with the number 1 pick. Okay. It was a lot of luck involved in that. Another player that gets a bad rap for being very vocal, very present on social media is your boy Lonnie Walker. And again, after the Spurs got eliminated in the playoffs, he was one of the first behind Murray to kind of speak on it and make a lot of promises, saying that this was going to be a special offseason, saying that he was going to be much better next year, even told fans he loved them and whatnot. And again, I don't see this as being something negative because these guys do improve year to year. This was a good year for Lonnie Walker. You get what I'm saying? He still has some growth on the defensive end he needs to address. He still needs some consistency. But like I've said in other videos, he averaged around 11 points per game, shot pretty good from 3. And those numbers mirrored Derek White numbers from last season. Okay. Not, this year, this year he had an injury prone year, but the year before that, he averaged 11 points per game. And here is Lonnie Walker, a younger player on the rise, did this as well. Lonnie Walker has so much upside, has so much athleticism, so much potential, man. We should see him being vocal about this team, about the Spurs, about, getting better as a good thing. Because at this point, the Spurs can't be picky. Because as of right now, as of this video, trust me, we don't have a whole lot of free agents, knocking down our door to come to us, okay? And until that happens, or until we, hit the draft hard or get a good gem, these are the guys that we are going to have to deal with. And they're positive guys. They want to be here. You get what I'm saying? They want to be with the team. And you got to respect that. So let's see their vocalness. Vocalness, is that a word? Vocalness? Let's see their vocal behavior as a good thing. Another misconception about this whole topic is that most of the talking, or all of the talking rather, is coming from Lonnie Walker and DeJounte Murray. The other younger players are getting in on it too, man. Vassell, rookie season. You get what I'm saying? Spending a lot more time on the bench than he deserved, by the way. Got on it too when he told the media flat out that him and Keldon Johnson had a conversation that this is the last time that the Spurs will miss the playoffs. That's a big statement from a rookie, y'all. That's a big statement from a rookie. But I love that. I love that aggressiveness. We know that basketball, sports in general, revolves around confidence. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure you guys heard all this Kwame Brown stuff going on. So I've been talking a lot. I've been thinking about Kwame Brown a lot. And I'm thinking like, well, maybe he would have been a better player if Kobe tried to breathe life into him versus getting on to him all the time. You get what I'm saying? Because confidence is such a huge part of the game. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Thanks for kicking it with me. Be sure to check out the other videos on the channel and let me know in the comment section, how do you feel about this topic? Do the Spurs talk too much, or is it just right for you? Let me know, guys, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.